Hello, my name is Megan and I am from the YouTube channel Insomniac Stream. And for this one I went with more of a humanoid cosplay version of Temper, so it's a little bit easier and accessible to create. I often love taking creatures and reimagining how they could exist in a makeup look, so this is just my take on Temper and hopefully you guys are feeling it. If you want to see how to get the look, just keep watching. There are a few things you will need, so let's just jump right into it and get started. For this look, you will need a few colors of water-activated face paints, some similar color eyeshadows, a neutral tone lipstick, as well as some eyeliner, mascara, and lashes. Starting with a lime green eyeshadow, I applied this kind of as a wash all over my eyelids, and then also as a way to help map out where the half mask for Temper will be eventually, so I'd have a better idea. Then taking a darker green shadow, I rounded the eye shape a bit by pulling the color from the outer corner towards the inner portion of my eyebrow. This I followed with a water-activated green face paint and filled in the upper half of my face. I am painting on top of makeup I already had on, but since I'll be going over everything anyways, it really won't affect the look. You might want to do 2 layers to get a really opaque finish, and then if you want to intensify your eye color a little bit, you can actually lay down some of the face paint and set it with the lime green we started with. By setting the face paint with an eyeshadow color before it fully dries, it helps lock in that color, but also gives it a brighter base to stand out on. And you can see the difference this makes just by one eye being done and not the other. Then to start adding dimension to the upper half of the face, so it's not just a flat green surface, I went ahead with a white eyeshadow and started brightening up the high points of the face. So along the bridge of the nose and forehead, on the top of your cheekbones, just under the brows, and on the inner corners of your eyes. To continue adding definition to the mask portion, I jumped back to the dark green shadow and deepened the contours on my eyes, around the nose, and along the edges of my face. To make them better match/blend in, I also filled in my brows with the same shadow color. Then taking a matte liquid liner, I just created a very dramatic wing liner to help the eyes be a focal point on such a bright and animated look. Then to start on the lower half of the face, I was using an ivory colored face paint here, but you could easily sub in a foundation, which might be easier to get your hands on. But all you need to do is fill in the entire lower half of your face and just try to get a pretty opaque finish. Then taking a brown face paint, which you again could sub out with either a contour or cream product, I started adding contour lines to the sides of my face. I blended these out by mixing the brown and ivory color and then using a stiff dry brush to pat and smooth it out. This again is a step to just create more dimension to the face, and because Temper is an illustrated character, it can be a bit more dramatic and over the top. And if you're more comfortable working with powders, you could just use a brown powder to blend out these lines, as well as use this to add dimension to the rest of your nose, along the chin, and around the edges of your lips. Then for the lips, I just went ahead and used a pretty brown-toned liquid lipstick, but you could use whatever you have, any kind of neutral shade, or even a face paint if you were working with it. For the eyes, I wanted them to stand out, so I went ahead and added some black liner, mascara, and threw on some false lashes, though those are totally optional, so just do whatever you're feeling. And now for the fun part, painting the neck, which I totally took inspiration from Temper's belt in his later evolutions, as well as the markings on his body. To do this, I painted an oval with the ivory face paint I was using, and then just mixed a white and black until I had a light gray color to map out the belt, which I essentially turned, I guess, into a choker for this look. All you want to do for this is create a circle in the very center and then make 2 lines extending out and around your neck. I then just filled in all around that with the brown face paint, using a bit of a smaller brush just to get around the edges and make sure they were clean. And then I also just carried this all over my shoulders and chest, but you of course could just blend this into a t-shirt or clothing of your choice. To better start detailing the belt/choker, I took a black eyeshadow on an angled liner brush and lined all around the center circle and the extending straps. I mapped out the separation points along the sides, and then just pulling a bit of the black lightly along each strand, you can shadow the sections and make them look more three-dimensional. Using the same brown that I used on the face, I used this to add a bit of drop shadow underneath the belt so that it would look like it's sitting on top of the skin a little bit more. And then with the black eyeshadow once more, I just detailed the centerpiece of the belt by creating the center circle, adding a little bit of shading around, and then I quickly added in the lines just along the ivory area to again reference Temper's belly. While I had the black on my brush, I went ahead and shadowed under the green section of my face since I wanted it to read more as a mask, and this would cast a slight shadow to the skin underneath. And then some finishing details to make the look pop a little bit more is to take a white water-activated face paint and just add some highlighting to all of the metal pieces along the belt. And I did this to all the high points of the metal that would naturally reflect light. And then I just added a few extra white highlights along the face in the green section, again, just because it makes it come a little bit more to life and it is an animated look, so why not? And then that is it for the makeup. I did throw in a pair of fangs that I had cast to my 2 front teeth since Temper has awesome fangs. And then I went ahead and threw on a green wig as well as tied on a green bandana, actually just a piece of fabric, but we'll pretend it's a bandana, and tied this up to kind of reference Temper's very first form that has what looks like a tie in the back of his head. Thank you guys so much for watching. These are really hard to talk in. Okay, much better. If you have a moment, please make sure to subscribe to the Best Fiends YouTube channel, which is the one you are watching right now. If you want to see some more creative makeup fun, feel free to check out my channel, which is Insomnia Extreme here on YouTube. Please let us know what you thought of this video in the comments down below. A little bit of a different take on Temper, kind of a different way to bring him to life, but hopefully you enjoyed it. Thank you guys very much for watching, and we of course will see you next video.